Yo, what's happening, people? It's Ramon here with your update on the goings on at Arsenal Football Club, and I've been away for a week, so I've not been able to update you on the goings on. But there's a couple of stories come out in the past week or so that I'm just gonna address and just sort of give my opinion over. So yeah, let's get into it. The first topic, I guess, is Raul Sanllehi has now left Arsenal as head of Arsenal football, recruitment and negotiations. He has now left quite abruptly. There was rumours a week ago on Friday that he may be leaving the club, and it was confirmed by Arsenal Saturday. They put out a statement to say that he's now left the club, and Vinay will step up as sort of head in sort of CEO business at Arsenal Football Club. And it's interesting that he's not been directly replaced, Raul, and it doesn't look like there's plans to bring in someone on that level. The thing with Raul is obviously he comes with a different approach. You signed him from Barcelona a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago, and it just looked like he was very a contact businessman who has like a black book of lists of players that he wants to sign or ways he goes about it. He's very agent-led. He's got lots of contacts in the agent world and in this current market. Some might say exactly what you need. You need agents in this, contacts with agents in this market, because every player has an agent, and those agents are really the negotiators for the players. And with obviously, if you come with someone who's got contact with agents, you can obviously bring in players. As like Raul has now brought in players via one agent who manages David Luiz, he manages Cedric, and also Willian, who we'll get to in a second. And sometimes the problem with that, and I think it's not really the way Arsenal work, but sometimes the problem with that is that you end up going through one approach, and you don't really let the stats, and you don't really look at actual how the player will interact with the club. Is it the best thing for the club at the time? And so people get left out, and you end up making some wrong decisions. There are some investigations into some of Raul's dealings. There's investigations into the Pepe signing and how Arsenal ended up paying £72 million. Looked a bit too much money. The question marks about the Leno signing and the Torreira signing, about the money we paid for that as well. Could it be done better? Could we have got better negotiations for it? And also, the other players been the right signings, and have Arsenal progressed under him? You know, we finished 5th place under Emery, and we finished 8th place under Arteta, reaching 3 finals and winning 1 trophy. And then you've obviously got the whole Emery situation, where Raul wanted to give Emery a new deal in April when things were looking rosy and Arsenal were looking to finish in the top 4, which was eventually stopped before, and it was kind of done behind the backs of the Cronkies. Apparently, he kind of made this arrangement to possibly extend the contract for Unai before the season even completed. As we know, Arsenal finished 5th and then lost Europa League. So, and then Emery had a very bad start to the season and eventually got sacked. And that, of course, would have been a horrendous decision to have offered him a new deal there and then. And so since then, I think there's been question marks throughout the season. Obviously, COVID coming in this year plays a part as well. Arsenal looking to cut costs. We've seen Francis Cagial, one of our long-term scouting head of scouting recruitment, has also left the club. With Cesc Fabregas, he brought in Martinelli. He brought in a lot of players, young players from abroad, from the likes of Spain and further afield, who he's watched personally. Arsenal looking to go in a new direction without him. And obviously there's been 55 other members of staff gone. Arteta's talked about replacing some of his backroom staff as well. So don't be surprised to see more change happening in the next few weeks or so. And he's just part of it. And I'm not mad at it. It gives Vinay, Edu, and Arteta a bit more control. I like the fact that Arteta's getting a bit more control. I know we're in sort of a director of football world where the coach just coaches, but Arteta seems more like a manager to me. He seems a lot more like the old school. I want to know what goes on. I want to get involved in the transfers, and it seems like it's working. It seems like already Arteta is sort of working well with Edu, and they are sort of doing it without Raul needing to be there. And Vinay sort of overseeing it, and I think that's how the Cronkies like it. They've employed this man called Tim Lewis, who came in July, as sort of one of their lawyers to oversee some financial goings on at Arsenal and just make sure that the club is actually working well. And there's rumours that he's actually got involved and wanted Raul to go as well. So yeah, there's a lot of changes going on at Arsenal at the moment that we shouldn't be surprised to see in the next coming few weeks. As I said, we have to wait and see what happens. But as it stands, I'm not mad at the decision to get rid of Raul at the moment. Let's just hope that the current system that is in place helps us push forward into next season on the pitch as well as off the pitch. And of course, we've got the big signing, Willian. Willian signs for Arsenal on a 3-year deal, having rejected the 2-year deal offered to him at Chelsea, and also the deals abroad at Inter Miami, and maybe another European club potentially interested, Barcelona maybe in talks. I think he wanted to stay in London. Again, as I mentioned before, same agent as David Luiz. He's actually good friends with David Luiz. He knows Edu from the Brazilian setup when Edu was a technical director in Brazil, national football team, during the past couple of World Cups before he came to Arsenal. So he's got links there. I think him and David Luiz own a shop together in London. So there's a lot of links for him to come, an easy move to do. Now, a lot of people are angry about it. A lot of people are not sure about it, and a lot of people are happy about it, as is with any transfer. But I think Willian being 32 years old and offering a 3-year deal, people are like, it's way too much. And I do understand that. However, the way I look at it is he is a player that Arteta wants, first and foremost, and this is a manager that we're going to put our trust in. We have to see if this is a man he wants in an attacking sense, then I'm going to just say, okay, fair enough, that's the player he wants. Wouldn't be my first choice, but I'll back that. Secondly, Willian's probably costing about 20 to 30 mil in the market if you were to pay money for him without a contract. So we've sort of saved about 20 mil in a bag there, paid him a decent signing on fee, and we're still, and he's getting paid less than he was at Chelsea in terms of wages per week, in and around 100 to 120k. Signing on fee will obviously boost his wages across, but it's not how it works. You give a man a signing on fee and then you pay his wages. If we were to sign him, we would have maybe paid the 20 mil and then the wages on top, and do you know what I mean? And maybe a bonuses in the contracts and all that sort of stuff. So to get him on a free, I don't see that as a bad deal whatsoever. And again, Chelsea wanted to extend his deal. Let's not forget, he was one of Chelsea's best players, arguably their best player last season. I think he probably was. He had his personal best season at Chelsea in the league in terms of goal contribution, 16 in all in the league for Chelsea. So it's his best sort of output. We saw a lot of that towards the end of the season after the restart. So, even though he's at that age, if he's just played his best season at Chelsea, I don't see why we should just call him off and say he's an old man and he can't play. Yes, we'd like some younger legs, but we've got a lot of younger players out wide. We've got the likes of Pepe, who, he's no spring chicken, but he's not old at all. He's probably going into the peak of his career. And then you've got the youth of Saka, Martinelli. Of course, you've got Eddie and Nketiah in that forward line as well. Added to that, you've Aubameyang, who may be signing a new deal this week. It looks like it's heading that way. So I can't be mad at the signing of Willian, really. I can't be mad at it. I just hope that it works out well. Arteta said he can play in the 3 or 4 positions. And so that makes me think that he will be an option out wide, but he would all be an option in the middle. And a lot of Chelsea fans saying that they prefer him at sort of number 10. So yeah, a couple of good inquisitions there, and hopefully Arsenal are going to continue the transfer window with some success. There's a few more rumours about a few more players, and But, you know, to get the Willian deal done over the line, we can now concentrate, hopefully, on the sort of defensive side of things now. Getting a defensive midfielder in, getting a centre-back in, and then anyone else we can sort of pick up to help strengthen the squad. And, of course, we need to get rid of some players from the squad as well. There's a few players that maybe need to go. And so we will see what happens with that in the next coming weeks or so. Guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.